Hello and welcome back to the Stronghold. I'm the Magi, and you know what time it is, and we're gonna get our midweek magic on. This week's midweek magic may have you a little on edge, as we are restricted to the 3 or 4 most recent sets, that being the Wilds of Eldraine, Aftermath, March of the Machine, and Phyrexia all will be one. But not to worry, we've got a great deck for you that falls within those limits and is very budget approachable. But before we get into all that, allow me to do the awkward thing and promote the channel. A while back, one of my viewers was kind enough to point out that we are the only channel putting out timely midweek Magic content. So be sure to subscribe right here at the Planeswalker Stronghold for all of your future midweek Magic needs, because we will be bringing you a deck list or strategy every single week. So what do you say we put all this aside and just get to that? Now, around here, you matter. So as I often do, I started preparing for this midweek magic by asking the community what they wanted to see. And so today we're going to be talking about Rat Tribal from a budget perspective. Now, as we begin to look at the deck, always keep in mind that these types of budget deck techs are intended to be a very approachable starting point and should always be edited and adjusted according to the contents of your own collection. And approachable is exactly what we've gone for here. If we take a look at the rares, you see there are only 5 going on here. 2 copies of Song and another 2 copies of Lord Skitter himself. Both of these are attainable through the jump-in packs. I'm not sure what the correct quantities are on these, but I think it's going to be at least 2 on each of these. In the more experimental category right now, I'm testing a single copy of Tangled Colony, a copy of Karamonix the Rat King, and a copy of Redcap Gutter Dweller. Karamonix in particular has the opportunity to really flip this deck on its head by giving all your other rats toxic in addition to himself. Can really change the context of the game pretty quickly. Now, in looking at the deck, I broke it into 3 basic categories. One being, of course, rat creature types, non-rat creature types, and then support spells. And when I build something like this that is a tribal deck, of course I try and focus on the tribal creature itself and then cards that support it. For instance, Rat Out is a pretty basic black removal spell that also gives you a rat token. Gnawing Crescendo is your classic red instant overrun effect to pump your whole team. This 3 mana instant +2/+0. But in addition, whenever a non-token creature you control dies this turn, create a black rat token creature. Song of Totentanz is a single red mana spell with an X. Create X rat tokens, and creatures you control gain haste until end of turn. We might go up on this. I could see as many as 4 copies on this pretty easily, but before we make that kind of investment, I want to make sure we really tune the deck out. Moving into creatures that are not rats but support, your Harried Spearguard is your classic red 1/1 with haste, and when it dies, it leaves behind a rat token. Ratcatcher Trainee has the Pest Problem Adventure. For 3 mana, creates 2 rat tokens, and a 2 mana Human Peasant 2/1 that has first strike on your turn. 2 very solid cards in 1. Tattered Ratter is in here as an additional creature. 2 mana 2/2, and whenever a rat you control becomes blocked, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. This is to test a variant on the same sort of thing we see with Gnawing Crescendo. We'll probably play with those numbers back and forth until we find the right combination. Swarm Piper is the only gold card in the deck, 3 mana 2/3. The interesting thing here is that whenever it or another non-token creature you control dies, create a rat token, and it has an onboard activated ability for 2 mana. Target attacking rat you control gains Death Touch until end of turn. Pretty nice onboard removal option if your opponent will go for it. Edge Wall Pack is a 4 mana 3/3 dog with menace, and he brings along a rat token creature. Red Cap Gutter Dweller is a 4 mana 3/3 with menace, also brings along a rat token. Actually, he brings along 2 rat tokens, forgive me. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on Red Cap Gutter Dweller and exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Pretty solid pump ability there. Twisted Sewer Witch, 5 mana 3/4 human warlock. It does take double black to cast this. One of the harder to cast spells, but not terrible from what I have played around with. When it ETBs, she brings along a rat token, and then for each rat you control, not just your tokens, but each rat, create a Wicked Roll token attached to it. And for those not familiar with the Wicked Roll token, it gives a +1/+1. When this aura is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life. So it kind of creates a double trouble scenario for all of your rats. If they don't block them, they take 2 or more. If they do block them, they're still going to put creatures at risk as well as lose life if your rats die. Nazumi Informant, this is one of the non-Wildsville Drain rats that I am happy to be able to test. 2 mana 1/1. When he ETBs, each opponent discards a card. And then, of course, you have a offensive rat threat or one of the few rats that can block. Tangled Colony, a rare here. Again, I think this is going to be a variable number here, but this might be the most essential rare in the deck. 2 mana 3/2. He cannot block, but when it dies, create X rat tokens, where X is the amount of damage dealt to it this turn. So if you deal 4 damage to this, it's going to leave behind 4 rat tokens. Easy peasy. Lord Skitter, I think everybody's seen this in some way or another. 3 mana 3/3. When it ETBs, exile up to 1 target card from an opponent's graveyard. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a rat token. And it does that over and over and over again. I had one game where I was using the rat tokens along with Totem Tans to start breaking up a very substantial defensive line that the opponent had. From there, probably the best uncommon in the rat family, Lord Skitter's Butcher. 3 mana 2/3, so it looks a little off stats, but when it ETBs, you get to choose one of the 3 following options. Create a rat token. You may sacrifice another creature. If you do, scry 2 and draw a card. Or creatures you control gain menace until end of turn. All 3 very good options depending upon where you happen to be in the game. And Voracious Vermin, the other 3-drop rat, 2/1. When it ETBs, it brings along a rat token. Whenever another creature you control dies, not token or not token, but any creature, put a +1/+1 counter on Voracious Vermin. We talked about the Rat King's ability to turn into a toxic deck with the drop of a single card. And the mana base on this particular, on the Edge event, is a little rough. There are some rare lands, but they're few and far between. Most of the good rare duels are not available to us. In this particular deck, I'm recommending 9 swamps, 11 mountains, and 4 Bloodfell Caves. Of course, your mana base needs to be able to flex and change according to what you have in your collection, as well as the individual card choices that you end up making.
Slow play cues here on Friday morning. Beginner's luck, I like it. If I had some black mana, man, this would be really good, but I think I got a mulligan that. And there we almost have the opposite problem, but I do think we'll keep 6. And believe it or not, I think Totentans is one of the weaker cards in the deck, so we will try and throw that back. A trainee on 2 doesn't feel terrible, especially followed by our boy, the Sewer King. Does he just eat removal? Play Lord Skitter early so we get the rat. Swing our first striker. Okay, I have to admit, I don't hate this board position, especially getting to drop the red cap next turn. Feels pretty decent. Or we could do Edgewell Pack. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna swing the trainee. There's no point sending a single token to its inevitable demise. And I think we play the pack here, and we should be able to trigger its celebration next turn and have a pretty wide board here. I don't think I swing Lord Skitter next turn, though. We'll let him sit back on his throne and do his sewer thing. I mean, he's got to be sitting on something, right? I mean, he's got 4 mana. He's playing the 2 most... well, that's unfortunate. They hit me pretty hard there. I was going to say, giving the whole team menace here is going to be pretty strong. Catalog. Okay, I honestly don't hate that. I'm really wondering if Sewer King should just be like a 4-of, even though it's legendary. I think I'm running 2 in this version of the deck. And I want another 2-drop, so I don't feel compelled to play the trainee. exchange, but it felt like the right play. And I'm just getting choked up with 3 drops. Well, I'm glad I didn't play the Sewer King earlier. That would have been rather upsetting. I think we go for the pack here and then get multiple turns where we can trigger it. Okay, alright. Oh, that's right. Pack doesn't have celebration, it triggers celebration. My bad. What's he gonna take? Alright. Well, I think we won this one just by getting wide here. Really want to draw land and then play the Sewer Witch. Feels like fun. Whiffed on Machiko. That felt really weird. way, just in case you didn't catch all that, Matt would like you to know that the deck list that we discussed in this video is going to have a link down in the doobly-doo to take you over to Aetherhub, along with a link to any other alternative list that you might wish to consider. He only asks that you give it a little thumbs up when you're over there checking out the deck list. And I plan on live playing this event on Wednesday at 11 a.m. over on my Twitch channel, so definitely stop in and check it out. Because the Stronghold is so much more than just a YouTube channel, and you can find links to all of our other social media outlets in our profile. Because at the end of the day, we're all budget players. And as a community, we're stronger together. So like, comment, subscribe, follow, do all those things to show a little love. It's appreciated more than you know.